Shalom Yashrala, this is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here little quick article real quick. Hey, the prophecies are speaking loud and clear. We've been really hammering in on the prophecies dealing with the mark of the beast as we see these things are building. All right, we're getting closer and closer to the end by measuring the time diligently. All right, the uproars of the people, the sedition amongst men. All right, and all these different things that are all taking place right now. Esau is getting that hatred towards his own brother. A house divided can't stand. All these different things. We also have things that's brewing in the background as far as wars and rumors of wars. All right, you have different things taking place all around the world. They're strategically setting up their resources around the way, just like how we see with this the troops inside these major cities at the Capitol buildings or whatever whatnot, for the protest or whatever whatnot. But nevertheless, it's also moving resources into the area. All right, this is why you all since September 11th you had all these troops over in the Middle East. They're not really bringing them back in the masses, because in a time of war, especially if the war is going to take place over there, you don't want the war to pop off, and then you have to start bringing all your resources over there in the middle of all that. All they got to do is hit you on your way over there, man. But if you're already over there, you're already ready to go. All right, but here's one, dealing with more and more of these chariot sightings. You're seeing way more floods of videos of these things to the point now where it's on your mainstream news and things like this. Somebody's to call you a conspiracy theorist for talking about so-called UFOs and whatever whatnot. You're like, well, how come the main, based off of your analogy, you believe the things that you hear on the mainstream media, on the TV, the news, your governors, these types of people, science and everything like that, man. All right. Right now, what you have going on is in the mainstream media, these things are being talked about. All right. So this one here says, large blue UFO startles Hawaii residents while appearing to plunge into the ocean. All right. Now, when they were using these terms like UFOs, because they don't really use these terms anymore, but they used to have a term called a USO, all right, unidentified submersible object, all right. But hey, in the same token, we have these chariots that can come in and out of the water. They've had plenty of sightings of chariots and all kind of different things, whether it be around volcano eruptions. There's sometimes or there'll be like it'll form a storm with lightning, which seems like lightning coming from the volcano over top, but then you'll zoom in on the video and you'll see these damn chariots floating around out there, man. All right, so let's get into this one. It says numerous residents of Hawaii island of Oahu have been left scratching their heads after a mysterious glowing unidentified flying object was spotted both in the sky and in the water. All right, now again, this says numerous residents, multiple people saw this. So we're not living in those days where you have one person that might have just been out by their self or whatever whatnot, and happen to see something, and then now they're going to go tell somebody, and everybody's scratching their head like, bro, you was probably on some drugs, you was probably drunk, probably tired, you probably misidentified what you saw because only you saw it, But now we live in a time now where everybody has cell phones, all right? So, you living in a time now where multiple people not only can see these things and tell you that they saw, but they can also record these things and show you the footage, all right? So it says multiple witnesses reported the strange sighted to local law enforcement on Tuesday night, but officials from the United States Federal Aviation Administration says there were no incidents or accidents involving aircraft in the area at the time, right? So, hey, the simple person would read this like, oh, well, they contacted the FAA and they said there was no incidents or accidents, so let's just dismiss it. No, they were just saying, according to what you would think of in a normal setting, all right, because we don't normally see things that fly in the air and go into the water and things like that. Now, you have like submarines that are launch missiles from underwater, and you'll see these missiles come from out of the water going into the sky. But how about going the opposite way, coming from the sky going down to into the ocean? Normally when we see things like that, we equate that to like some kind of aircraft crashing because it was flying, then it just fell out of the sky and it hit the water. All right, so but what they're saying is, Lord, there was no crashes or no accidents, also validating what the people were seeing. We seen something flying and it went inside the water, and y'all were reporting with y'all radars and everything that y'all didn't have no planes missing. So it wasn't no military plane or nothing like that. All right. Some of the bystanders managed to capture footage of the particular occurrence, which showed the luminous blue object traveling through the air. And one of the recordings, a woman can be heard saying, "Something is in the sky. What is that?" All right. And so, you know, again, we live in a time now where everybody pretty much has cell phones, and not just that, there's multiple cameras being posted around the, basically around the earth. As far as here in America, you got the Ring doorbells and people with the cameras around their house and everything like that, and dashboard cams and everything like that. So, now more and more people, you can just look at YouTube, UFO caught on dash cam, UFO caught on Ring doorbell, and so on and so forth, where it's just a posted camera seeing these different things. If you watch enough videos, you'll be able to see the characteristics of these things. It's just not like what people call quote unquote shooting stars or meteors. They just fly really fast, zip across the sky or whatever, whatnot. It's not people mistaking those things for these things. Regular people that's been on the earth for a while understands the dynamic of flying things. Again, you see a quote unquote shooting star, it's going to go from one direction to the other direction really fast. It's not going to be flying really fast in one direction and immediately make a left turn. That's just not going to happen. All right. Even with regular airplanes and things like that, there's only a certain amount of maneuvers that, physics would allow these things to do. Now we see certain videos and things like that where there's how you say, either jets flying, all right, or missiles being launched off, and they're traveling at extreme speeds, and out of nowhere, this chariot will come up and fly up to them, all right, and then they'll fly around the object and take off in the opposite direction, or flying full speed, they're going head on or whatever, whatnot, and see this other object and fly back the other way. All right, now, like I said, you can look up videos about these things. There was one where there was a missile being shot off, all right, and the missile was going up or whatever, whatnot, and out of nowhere, this chariot came up. And if you can imagine the tip of the missile, let's just say it's pointing north or upwards, this chariot came from behind it, got in front of it, and flew out and around the tip of this here missile as it's flying forward. So if the chariot is having to go, if they're both traveling in the same direction, the chariot has to catch up to it. Now it's changing, how do I say, the direction it's flying, from, imagine you on a motorcycle, you're trying to catch somebody up, right? Or on a car, you're trying to catch somebody from behind and get in front of them. And you throw once you pass them, you throw your car in reverse and spinning it around. Now you going bumper to bumper, but now you're driving in reverse while they're driving forward. All right, now just think about it, man. We don't have anything physically that can defy physics like that to do these things, man. All right. So it says, let me read it again, which says, in one recording, a woman can be heard saying, "Something is in the sky. What is that?" All right. And these are the things that's going to start bringing the fear upon these people, like the scripture said, and every eye's going to see it, and all the nations are going to mourn. Fear fell upon them. All right. I started calling my husband, and then because they were all in the garage, I was like, "Hey, come look up. Come look up there. See if you can see what I see." They all say, "Yeah, a woman called Mariah told Hawaii News Today, or News Now." And, this is your normal reaction, because, hey, we're all used to just being outside and seeing airplanes. Like, even if you don't hear the airplane and see the airplane just flying over, it don't really catch your eyes or anything like that. This out of the normal or out of the ordinary or anything like that. It's normally the absence of normality that catches your eyes and things like that. You see something flying or something of a strange color in the sky. Like, wait a minute, what is that? So on and so forth, But people's normal reaction to these things that they can't, immediately, because the first thing first, subconsciously, you're going to try to evaluate what the hell it is. You're going to run through all your options. Oh, is it a plane? Is it a helicopter? Is it a drone? Is it something like a satellite or something like that, or whatever, whatnot? I can speak from my own experience from, I've seen multiple chariots real life, but there's one point in time where I was up in New Jersey, out on the Jersey Shore, like right over the water, right? Like literally right there at the water, right? Standing up on the high rise in the balcony. Me and my cousin were out there and just looking over. You could see, it was multiple, we lost count at around like 30 of these bad boys. And to describe the movement, it would be like, a bunch of bees flying around a beehive or something like that, They were going, there wasn't no uniformity as if we noticed regular flying objects like we know of airplanes and helicopters and things like that. All right, they weren't a bunch of drones, all right, because these things, they all had lights on them. They were flying into each other where you would have two that would become one. And one that was spread into like 3, 4, 5 of them. All right. Some of them would get bigger. Some would get smaller. They would disappear and reappear and things like that, flying straight up and down, left and right, back and forth, just hovering around or whatever, whatnot, And we know that airplanes don't, first of all, you don't have no airplanes that's flying that close to another airplane, let alone colliding with another one. Same with helicopters, man. All right. Not only were, they out there for a while. But when I first saw it, I sat there and looked, whatever, whatnot, for quite a while. Started videotaping. Called my cousin. My cousin came out and looked at it. Was flipping out. He was in denial at first. Nah, man, he tripping. But when he came out there, his mind couldn't make it up to it. Calling some more of my relatives. They once they went out there and seen it, like, shit, I don't know what the hell that is, man. All right. Says 38-year-old was so perplexed by the object that she and her husband followed it for 3 miles before they saw it plunge into the water. Again, because when you see something such perplexing that you can't put your mind around, it intrigues you. So what? People are going to naturally follow these things, man. This is why I tell people, like, when they say that they have, they actually see a so-called UFO. They have a dream and they actually think that they see the Lord, or they have some type of encounter like this. You can really judge them based off of, if they really seen these things by their countenance, if their countenance has changed. All right. Because you can have the biggest conspiracy theorist person or whatever, whatnot, or anti-conspiracy theorist person, however you want to call it, people who don't believe in these things or whatever, whatnot. The moment they see something like this, all the things that they didn't have built up, all these walls are immediately crumbled, and then they don't know they have to evaluate, all right, everything that I know is, it's all questionable now. You know what I'm saying? Just like also in the scriptures, man. All right, where you read about a lot of the prophets or whatever, whatnot, they saw basically angels and things like that, saw visions. A lot of the times they would get sick, or they didn't know what the hell was going on, or they was just, they was kind of shook from seeing the things that they saw, man. That would be a real reaction to something that you just don't know what the hell it is, man. All right. While local police were at the scene, Mariah says they spotted a second light. My husband went to look. It says my husband went to look up and seen the white one coming. She explained the white one was smaller, was coming in the same direction as the blue one. Despite numerous people reporting the incident, Honolulu police said that they haven't got to the bottom of what fell into the water. An FAA spokesperson said the agency received a report from the police about a possible plane down in the area, but had no aircraft disappear off radar and no reports of overdue or missing aircraft. And again, like I said, some people would just dismiss that, oh, that one what it was. But again, you have two different people looking for two different things, right? They're saying, look, we spotted some unidentified flying object. We need to see if y'all can find it out. The FAA is saying, well, look, we got, let's say 100 airplanes charted on the map that we know of that's flying. Out of those 100 airplanes, we can find all 100 of them. None of them fell into the water. They all there. It's not dismissing what you saw, whatever, whatnot. But if you're asking us about airplanes up here, whatever, whatnot, maybe a possible airplane crashing, there was no airplanes crashing. All right. It says, interestingly, as recent as last October, another strange object was seen lighting up the skies above Hawaii. The incident also sparked a flurry of UFO speculation about scientists from the local WM Keck Observatory said the lights were the remains of an old Chinese spaceship burning up as it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. All right, and so they'll try to come out with things to try to, how do I say, try to put people's minds to rest or whatever, whatnot, because, hey, if they told you, we don't know what the hell it was, like, hold up. First of all, if you know what NORAD is, they got the whole damn globe grafted out, man. They can find anything flying on the globe, all right, anything airborne on the globe, anywhere in the whole world, all right. Also, what they call Earth's upper orbit, and then also up and around the damn globe, outer space, man. All right, so and hey, this is how they understand when missiles are being launched, man. They have this stuff all grafted out, man. All right, so with all this sophisticated technology, how are these things able to come around and fly or whatever, whatnot, man? The technology isn't the same. This is something spiritual. All right. So now let's jump into some scriptures real quick. This is Revelation 1:7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. That he is talking about Yahushua when Yahushua returns, all right? It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. And again, just like today, all right, well, we do have a term for it. It's called the chariots of Israel, chariots of the Most High. But today, in modern day, terminology, we don't have a word for these things. This is why we call them UFOs. And what is UFO? It's an acronym for unidentified flying object, meaning it's something you don't know that's just flying. So there is really no term for these things, right? So same here in the scriptures, obviously in the scriptures they call them chariots, but nevertheless, there's also words that's being used as a metaphor. Just like how in modern day times today, you have transportation like cars, trucks, and things like that. But you talk to Jake or whatever, whatnot, you got two homies talking or whatever, whatnot, like, yeah, man, I just got a new whip. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just smashed my rod up. You know what I'm saying? I got my new slab. I got my dunk. I got whatever, whatnot, I got a crotch rocket. You know what I'm saying? I got a slab or something like that. All these are different terms, basically saying the same, not to say the same type of car or whatever, whatnot, transportation, but he's talking about some type of vehicle that you're traveling in, right? So the same thing here. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Just like when you talk about in Egypt, there was a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day, right? This was actually a chariot that they was following, because, hey, you go outside and you try walking up under a chariot for 5-10 minutes, or walking under a cloud for 5 or 10 minutes, and see if you can do that, man. Let alone for 40 years. All right. And you ain't never seen no fire floating in the sky like that. But now when we talk about floating lights, all right, same thing. It's the same, how do I say, the same, I'd say same meaning, but you get the same perspective from what somebody's trying to describe. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. And just like when you're watching the movie Independence Day, the very first scene, when you first see the first chariot, that chariot comes out and it starts covering the buildings or whatever, whatnot, and the shadow was cast over the downtown area, right? So just like the clouds, on a real sunny day, and then the clouds come in and cover up the sun, what does it do? It casts a shadow that people could be up under, right? So it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Right? And talking about these every eye seeing them, not only are these things going to be enormous in the sky or whatever, whatnot, and everybody's going to see it, but like I'm saying now, all right, there's always been chariot sightings throughout the whole world, man, or throughout, recorded time in history or whatever, whatnot. Every civilization throughout every time period, they all have chariots or so-called UFOs documented in their history, man. All right, we reading about it right here in the scriptures, man, and this goes back all the way. But every civilization has records of these things, man. All right. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Again, going into the fact that when these things are coming at this point in time, obviously we aren't to the peak of these things coming, but nevertheless, right now, all eyes are being able to see things. We were reading about a chariot sighting out there in Hawaii, right? I'm not in Hawaii, but guess what? We can sit there and read about it, see the pictures of it, and possibly look at the videos of it if we can find the videos, man. All right. You go on YouTube and look up flying objects, flying orbs, UFOs, or whatever, whatnot. You can see UFOs around the whole damn globe, man. All right, but how much more when the Lord comes in with that full force or whatever, whatnot, man? You don't think that this is going to be something worthy to be putting on the news and being transmitted around the globe, man? When these chariots start coming into America, man, you don't think the whole world's going to be having all eyes on those things, man? All right, of course, everybody's going to want to see, and all the eyes are going to see these things, because why? It's going to be highly televised, man. All right, you see how normal people freak out when, they just naturally see these things. How much more when, these chariots are here out in the open and the masses can see them, man. All right. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. So, hey, those that pierced him, which was back in those days, the Romans, all right, the Roman military, right? And these modern day times, man, hey, who has the most sophisticated, like I said, NORAD. Just look up NORAD and their sophistications of their radar and everything like that, and how they had a whole damn globe, right? So they that pierced them, that military arm or whatever, whatnot, they're going to see all of this, man. All right. But then also these other nations, they're going to, just the regular everyday people going to see these things. And go on YouTube and look up people seeing these UFOs. And like I said, when people really see these things for real, you can tell by their countenance and their how they change up their mind or whatever, whatnot. Like you seen Jake. There's one video with Jake out there seeing the UFOs out there, whatever, whatnot. And he turned into, hey, oh shit, call the police. Y'all need to be shooting at that shit. When have you ever heard Jake talking about call the police, man? All right. But nevertheless, this is the state of the mind that these things put Jake into, man. All right. But hey, just the same way, again, you see all these other, people or whatever, whatnot, their reactions, they start crying or whatever, whatnot. There was one, I remember they seen one off to the side of the interstate, and it was flying, and people were stopping on the interstate and looking up or whatever, whatnot. But not everybody saw it because they wasn't looking. And they was blowing their horn. They was stuck in traffic. And then the person that was filming was like, stop your car, get out and look up. Like a normal person in their normal life wouldn't be stopping and doing all that. That would be something that would be out abnormal for them to be doing, out of character for them to be doing. But nevertheless, they seen something that threw them off so much that it took them out of their, their normal comfort zone or whatever, whatnot. So they would go do something out of the ordinary. All right. It says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. How much more in these times now when you got to worry about the pandemic, losing your job, being sick, uprising and shortages of food and all these different things is going on, World War III, and then to top it off on top of this, UFOs, people are going to be losing their shits, man. They go, oh, man, when we just thought 2020 wasn't, hey, how you think, just think of it this way, man. 2019 and 2020, man, people are already in that state where they all wailing and all sorrowful. The mirth is gone or whatever, whatnot, because they got hit by 2020, man. So how much more when 2021 plays itself out, man? People are gonna really be out there in that woe is me spirit, man. But how much more when the icing is put on the cake, man? When they start seeing the chariots and so on and so forth, man. All right, it's really gonna be a hard pill for them to swallow. All right. Let me read this one more time real quick. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 47:3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. And that's the state where America is at right now, man, where that skirt is being lifted up, and you seeing all the wickedness, all the evilness, and all the just the low lifery of this here place, man. All right. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man. All right. So, hey, the Lord is talking about, when he comes back and make his return this time, that he's not going to come like he came the first time, where they was able to scourge him and do all these different things to him, crucify him, and you know what I'm saying, put him in those types of scenarios or whatever, whatnot. He's coming back in that with full angelic force and that angelic body, man. All right, and in Esau's mind, like they plan on fighting the Lord, man. They plan on with their weaponry and whatever, whatnot, to take on the Lord, man. All right, but how much? Think of it this way, all of Esau's weaponry and all these types of things, except for like an actual sword, if he had an actual sword, they would all be rendered useless. All right, in just in the aftermath of a EMP strike, man. Because if you understand about an EMP strike, it knocks out all the electronic communications and things like that, man. So anything from his tanks, his planes, his ships, all those things would be rendered useless. And that's just, another country, another man could do that to Esau, man. How much more with Yahushua when he comes, man? All right, he could just speak it and it would not happen. But hey, the Lord wants a great, hey, the Lord is the king, the drama king, man. He want to have the climax of the movie. So hey, he's giving them this here technology, and this is why you see the rise of all this here artificial intelligence and these DARPA robots or whatever, whatnot. That's gonna be, going into the angels on the left hand side. Esau and his artificial intelligence or whatever, whatnot. What's the opposite of artificial intelligence? Actual intelligence, the human mind or whatever, whatnot. Our minds are highly sophisticated computers and things like that to be able to do all kind of different things or whatever, whatnot. But Esau's trying to speed it up and make things quicker and faster and so on and so forth. But how much more, when they're actually having to fight these chariots, man? All right. It's like, hey, I got some. Are we good? Be good. This is going in Psalm 68, verse 17. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000s, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So, hey, just like when we were out there getting the commandments or whatever, whatnot, there was Moses. Hey, the Most High came in that chariot, was over top of Mount Sinai, man. All right, now if you even go look up Mount Sinai, they have the top of the mountain. First of all, it's gated off, but the top of that mountain is pretty much like it look like it's burnt or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, but nevertheless, just like how the Most High wrote the commandments with the tip of his finger, or the lasers to etch into the stone or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, you also have the time where Moses wanted to see the Most High. He was like, look, you gotta basically go up into this here mountain, and I'm gonna overpass you. Turn around. When I tell you, you can spin back around and you can see basically the back end of this. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, this is too much glory for you to see. You be done went blind seeing these things, man. So, hey, these are all accounts of chariots in the scriptures, man. All right. But as we read in here, you can go online and go on YouTube and type in fleet of UFOs, man. And you'll see these things. It'd be massive fleets of these bad boys. Like I said, the fleet that I saw, it was like maybe like only 35 of them. But, bro, you can go on YouTube and see them in the thousands of them, man. It's just like, holy shit, man. Daytime, nighttime, anytime, man. All right. So when the Lord come with all these chariots, really all it really takes is one chariot to go through and dominate all the Esau and his technology, man. But the Lord is coming with a massive fleet of chariots, man. All right. Revelation 12:7 says, and there was a war in heaven. Now this heaven is speaking about basically where the birds and the planes are at, man. This isn't talking about, because the Christians would like to say that this is when, Satan himself, the devil, and the Most High got into a big ass fight up in heaven, all right, and the Most High prevailed against Satan, his own creation, all right, and threw him out or whatever, whatnot, But that's not the case, because when you read through the scriptures about the spiritual demon Satan, all right, he's going to and fro throughout the earth, seeing who he may devour. You can read about that like in Job, and also in other places. But the devil, the spiritual demon Satan, all right, is not really in how do you say? It's not really contrary to the Most High. All right, ultimately he's for lack of a better terms, he's an angel. Right now, the term angel and demon is just basically the same as if you were a cop versus a criminal. Right? It's based off of your profession, what you do for a living, right? Because they're both human beings, right? They both go home and eat dinner or whatever, whatnot. They have to piss and have to shit. It's the same shit, right? But in reality, one of them is committing crimes and the other one's trying to prevent crimes, right? So it's the same thing. These angels / demons, all right? It's just based off of what their occupation is. One of them is serving on the right-hand side, the other one's on the left-hand side. But either way, their makeup is all the same. They don't go off. They don't, they're not rebellious like us, man. All right, they don't go off. Whatever they are told to do, that's what the hell they do. All right, so, speaking on the spiritual demon Satan, in fact, he's way more righteous than, really all of us, because of the fact he don't go off, man. We wind up going off, like Micah say, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because we have sinned against him. None of the angels really, they don't go off like that. They don't like, what, I'm gonna go do my own will or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, but nevertheless, so you're saying that to say this, that the spiritual demon Satan was never really, he wasn't, in opposition to the Most High. They ain't getting to no battle, and the Most High didn't cast him out of heaven. All right, this is talking about Esau and his kingdom. All right, this is him and his heaven right now on the throne. All right, but nevertheless, this is going to be the fight that's going to take Esau out of his heaven, off of his throne. But this here fight is going to actually take place in the air. All right, where you see, like, if you've seen let's say America and Russia fighting with their fighter jets, man. Where is this war going to take place? In the heavens, right? These fighter jets are going to be fighting inside the sky, right? So this is Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, right? So that the Michael and his angels is talking about basically, when Yahushua come back, with Michael the archangel and the rest of the angels and the chariots and so on and so forth, But against the devil and his angels, talking about basically Esau, all right, and his on the left-hand side, his spiritual powers or whatever, whatnot, on the left-hand side, which is going to be what? His sword, which he was given a great sword to live by and take peace from the earth. All right, also his technology and his weaponry and things like that, man. Because of the fact that this is, how do I say, also what do I want to say? Want to go into a tool that he can use, more or less to say. This is part of his way of life of moving forward or whatever, whatnot. This is his blessing. But these are also his angels. Forgot what movie that was, Saving Private Ryan, or one of these war movies where I think they was pretty much getting hammered in, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden they heard this loud vibration or whatever, whatnot. And they was like, what is that noise? And he was like, I think he responded like something like the fighter jets or whatever, whatnot. He was like, no, it's the angels. So Esau know that this is his basically his his angels on the left-hand side, like when you go on the war and things like that, especially now, the type of war that they had, well, not really now, because, he who dominates in cyberspace is the one that's going to dominate. But normally, before that, you had wars that was going on. He who had what they call air superiority is going to dominate. If you can gain air superiority, you can sit there and drop bombs from overhead or whatever, whatnot. Look at Syria. America was over there dominating the hell out of them because they had air superiority. But once they dropped that S-300 over there, it completely made all of Esau and his jets and his bombs all obsolete when you could just knock them out the sky. All right. But nevertheless, Esau has on his side, all right, his technology, his missiles, his planes, his artificial intelligence, his robots, all these different things, man. Why do you think he's creating and using artificial intelligence, man? His soldiers alone can take on the regular person that's out here that could be combative, man. His Navy SEALs and his Green Berets. These people could take on, these men are the elites when it comes time to fighting wars against other elite military men. How much more these type of people, the Marines, the Green Berets, SEAL Team 6 type of shit, Navy SEALs trying to fight regular people, man. He would slaughter them, man. So why do they need these robots if the regular military can slaughter the regular people, man? All right, these robots and this AI is going to be used for what? To fight something spiritual, something that they can't comprehend yet. All right, they need to have these fast computations and these super fast and super accurate and multiple remote control type of things, because look, they already know that they fight against something that they can't control, man. That they don't have no power over, man. All right, their conventional weapons aren't going to be feasible, man. It's also going into why they have this here Space Force, man. All right, so continuing on, Revelation 12:7, and there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there place found anymore in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. Again, going into let me read verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. So this is going to be the time when the Lord is taking Esau up off his throne. All right, when we're about to get the kingdom of heaven, this is his last stance, his last fight, where in the midst of World War III, they're going to stop fighting each other and they're going to wind up fighting against the Lord, man. All right, so this is that war that's talking about in heaven, where the devil and his angels fought against the Lord and his angels, man. All right, Esau is gearing up with his AI capabilities and things like that, his laser weapons and stuff like that, his robots and all these things to fight up against the Lord, man. All right, and you're seeing more and more increased sightings of these so-called UFOs and things like that. More and more the people are starting to see these things, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth and that we will. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing his truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.